Hello, everyone, and welcome to Different Stages Radio. I'm your host, JJ, broadcasting from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And on today's show, we have for you from Sweden, the band OH HIROSHIMA, who have a brand new album coming out on June 28th called All Things Shiny on Pelagic Records. Please welcome my guest, Jakob Hemström. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining the show. So I assume you're at home right now in Sweden, or are you elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm home in Sweden. It's actually a national holiday today. It's like the National Day of Sweden. So I've been off work today. So that's nice.
Well, then you should be taking it as a holiday and not doing actual work.
Oh, no, no, no.
No?
This is fine. This is fine.
This is fine. This is fine. So yeah, given the new record, All Things Shiny, a number of listens the last few days just to kind of absorb it and try to get ready for this interview. That's a deep, dense, thick listen. You must be very proud of how it's turned out so far. Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely. We really pleased with how the record turned out. So yeah, absolutely. And the response to the first songs that we released has been good. So yeah, all good so far.
All good so far. And where does that inspiration and come from and those ideas? Because I haven't yet had a chance to really dive into the lyrical portion of it, which I know is quite in depth. I'm always more on the music side myself, so I'm still absorbing that. So where does all that come from?
Like in terms of lyrics and themes and so on.
Yeah, like you and your brother Oscar, you now carry the
Yeah.
band. Do you each? I guess it kind of leads to, do you each um write lyrics together or do the compositions together, or do each of you kind of take care of one or the other?
Yeah, it's I do the lyrics, and you know my brother, he plays the drums, and I write like all the rest of the stuff. So I kind of am the one who's main responsible for the songwriting and record like the guitar and bass and so on. And then when we go on to play live, we'll bring a couple of friends to you know fill out the spots and so on. But mainly me, and he does the drums. But of course, we talk about the songs and so on, and like the direction we want to go and how we want it to sound and so on. So
And you mentioned with the live show that you bring some extra people on board for those shows. You did a couple of shows last month, is it? And then you have a bunch of dates coming up later in the year.
yeah, that's right. We did like Dunk Festival in Belgium and Post in Paris, two festival shows, and we just announced like a European tour for December, and we got a show in August as well. Pelagic Fest, so like a 15-year celebration for our label. So they'll bring a bunch of like great bands from the label to play there in Maastricht, I think it's called. Yeah.
And that's in August, is it? I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's in August. Yeah,
August, yeah.
end of August. Yeah.
And speaking of Pelagic Records, this is your first album on Pelagic. How did that come together, and how's that been going so far?
Well, we worked with the Napalm Records before, and that ended. So we were on the lookout for a new label. And I've known about Pelagic for a long time. They have a lot of great bands that's kind of in the same kind of genres that we ourselves write music within. So it was very natural, to get in touch with them. We got in touch with a bunch of different labels, but they definitely felt like the right one for us at this point. And we had like the album was finished, so we could show it to them right away, and they were hooked and really wanted to release it. So yeah, we decided to go with them, and so far it's been really great. They really, I think it's a really good fit for us. So very happy to be able to join their ranks.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I think it is definitely a perfect fit for you. And then also seeing all the different configurations of All Things Shiny coming out, some of those pictures of some of those swirly vinyl and CD as well. Like that must get you pretty excited to
Yeah,
see the work
yeah. I
going
mean,
into that.
sure. They're really great, with all the aesthetics, that side of things, and they helped us out with like find a designer. We had like the front cover for the album, but not the rest of the artwork. So they help out with that, and they got a great sense for all these things. And yeah, like the vinyl versions they have, they're all very beautiful, very cool stuff. So I mean, it's for me that's not my strongest side.
Okay.
So it's to have a label that does these things really well. So, and I think they also do it like in a way that really fits the kind of music that we're trying to write. So
Exactly.
very
And it seems that their product as well doesn't just look nice, it actually sounds well. It sounds great too.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, yes. Because that's the thing sometimes, oh, that looks really nice, but it kind of sounds whatever. But it seems that Pelagic really take a lot of pride in their product and a lot of extra care. Like it's not just pumping stuff out. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're looking for bands that are unique, and really genuine in what they try to do. And so yeah, we feel very happy to be part of the gang.
very good. And I wanted to ask you, I made a note here. Yeah, Magnus Lindberg, who from Cultaluna, who produced the
Oh
album.
yeah.
Yeah, how was that having him on board? Was that a big deal? Like, did he provide a lot of direction for you or advice, or was he just there as a sounding board?
Yeah, he was more, he was the one who mixed and mastered the album. And he did our like previous album as well, mixed and mastered, and the one before that he mastered. So, he's been working with us on that side of the production for a couple of albums now. And we recorded with, another guy from Cataluna, Christian Karlsson, who's also in PG Lost and Source, that's on Pelagic Records. And we had him on board for the previous album as well. So it was great to work with both those guys again. We were very happy with our previous album and how it sounded. And, it's nice to when you establish a connection, you know how the other people work. And I mean, that's always nice because you can focus on the things you really want to focus on, the songs and the sounds and so on. And I mean, he's a really great guy. Everything he's done with like Cult of Luna and other bands, I think sounds terrific. So yeah, I'm very happy to be able to have him mix and master this album again. And yeah, I think it turned out really good. So
Oh,
he's really fast also. He's very experienced with mixing this kind of music. So yeah, it's cool.
it's done in a weekend. Done. But is he
Almost,
with
yeah.
you? But is he with you through the process, or do you pretty much just present him the final or the near final product, and then at that point he just kind of mixes and masters? Is he with you at all during the creative process while you're actually tracking?
No, not really. We just send them all like the recorded stuff, and so we get in touch more when it's time for the mixing and so on. So not really, but I mean, of course, that's also a big part of how the record sounds. I mean, more than people think, actually, you can take recorded material in so many different directions and make it sound, I mean, in very different. So of course, I mean, he has put his mark on it, and he has suggestions for things, and maybe we like give him some notes or so maybe you can do it like this, but I did it like this instead, and that his ideas always sound better than ours. So we're happy to
So
have him
you
do it
trust
his way.
him?
And
He trusts you.
yeah, I hope so. I think so.
So it seems like it's a pretty lasting relationship.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, so far so good, and very happy to be working him. Everything sounds great every time he does something. So yeah, I think so.
Excellent. Back to shows though. Any plans on bringing Oh Hiroshima to North America or elsewhere? I know it's a challenge for smaller mid-tier bands, but is that something that's on your radar? Is there anything out there that looks possible?
Well, it's definitely on our radar. It would be great to be able to come to the States sometime and do a tour over there. Absolutely. There's no like concrete plans at the moment, but uh, hopefully, sometime in the future we'll be able to cross the pond and do it. That would be really, really awesome. So yeah,
But that's the long-term intent, which is good.
I think so.
Yeah, perfect. And you said with the live show, so you bring a few other people on board for the shows. Anyone of note in those situations, or is it just friends and acquaintances, or any names that people know?
Yeah, basically. We got a guy named Jarl Furingsten. He plays the guitar and keyboard with us, and good friend of us, and also another guy called Jocke Liebgott who plays the bass and some background vocals. So even though we're a duo now, we always like written as if we were a four-piece. At one time in the band, we were a four-piece, and we still, kind of try to keep like in that kind of vein. So when we record, I mean, of course, we can add some different elements like brass instruments or wind instruments and so on, and keyboards that were not always possible to, replicate live. But like the main bulk of the song is always like two guitars, bass, and drums. And we try to keep in mind that we want to be able to play them more or less like the original versions live. So with four people on stage, we can manage to do a good show, and I'm very happy to just bring friends on tour. I mean, it's almost as an important part as being a good musician, that you feel that you get along and you have a good time together. So
Well, I think that
great
says
guys to play with as
a
well.
lot about your art, is that it's important for you to have a proper live band to replicate your music live, rather than just having something sampled or triggered, to really
Yeah, absolutely.
to keep it as
Yeah.
organic and real as possible.
Yeah, I think so. I rather use as little of that kind of stuff as possible. I want to be, or like click tracks, or even like in-ear monitors. I like to be in the stage, and be in the sound, and feel like the sound surround me. That's like the greatest feeling in the world, when you're really like in the zone. So definitely, I agree.
Well, I couldn't say more, especially for Oh Hiroshima. So anybody who's just checking out the band, because I'll admit I'm still new to the band, and I think that it's important for you, not just live, but even listening to the albums, to really absorb it properly. And that's how you need to do it, is to really truly feel it, because there's so many subtleties. That's what was grabbing me right away. It's like, oh, the subtleties, the dynamics, the hills, the valleys. It's like, oh, I'm right in there. It's like, I need a coat now. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that is the kind of music that I mean, the way you describe that's the kind of music that I enjoy as well. Not something that you just put on casually, but something that you really, I mean, it's like a small world of its own, where you kind of get lost and you forget about everything around you. You're just in that other world. So if we can manage to make music that's in any way like that, I'm very pleased. So,
well, you succeeded. Good job.
oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I'll wrap it up quickly, because I know you got a bunch of interviews today. So I want to thank you very much, Jakob Hemström, from from Oh Hiroshima, and reminding you that All Things Shiny comes out on June 28th. Various configurations on CD and vinyl, June 28th, Pelagic Records, and watch out for them this August festival. It's in Berlin, correct?
No, it's in Netherlands,
Was in the
Maastricht,
Netherlands? Okay, the label's
however
in
you
Berlin,
pronounce
sorry.
it.
Yeah, okay, the label's
Yeah,
in
they moved
Berlin.
it. Yeah.
And then December tour, I think I saw a bunch of dates in Germany, correct? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, we're hitting 7 different countries. A lot of shows in Germany, and Slovakia, Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands. Yeah, you can check it out on our socials. We have the whole list. So yeah,
And
but we're happy to bring the record live. So
where can
looking forward
people
to that.
find All Things Shiny?
You can find it, just hit go to Pelagic Records website, and you can pre-order everything. And of course, we're on Instagram and Facebook and everything. You can find links, so should be able to track it down.
Perfect. Jakob, OH HIROSHIMA, all things shiny, June 28th. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.